Very good. Let's say hi to Jay in New Jersey. What's up, Jay?
Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, Jay.
Got a question. Are you guys going to come up with some new material when Stern comes on? Because the whole show's talking about Stern.
We didn't mention his name once.
The whole entire show is all about Stern. I mean, the whole entire show.
Jay.
So 2 months from now, what are you guys going to be talking about?
Jay. Usually you would make this phone call after we actually talked about Stern.
Is he talking about
we
Daniel
just did an
Stern?
hour on Rich Voss's wedding. Your timing stinks.
You know, my buddy next to me...
See, if you're trying to get under our skin, you would make this call after we had a rant about Howard Stern.
Has your radio show, right?
Oh, it's always a buddy.
Yeah.
It's always a buddy.
And then what else did we talk about today? We started the show talking about...
there's a WOW promo that we play every Wednesday calling out Howard Stern because we call him out all the time.
Yeah.
Jay, shut the fuck up. You're not listening to XM because your friend has the show. At least be honest with us. You have XM. You have XM. You have XM. You have XM. Admit it. You have XM. You have XM! Shut the fuck up! I know you have XM because you said, is that all you guys going to do? That means you listen.
Go call up Howie now.
You're not listening for the first time, douchebag.
Call up Howie now. Call up Howie and go.
Hey, Howard, it was so cool. I got through to...
Click. Okay, Robin with the news.
When are you going to realize that Howard Stern's a pussy? We call him out on a regular basis, and he has nothing. So shut the fuck up, Jay. Let let Howard fight the battle, but he's not going to fight the battle because he can't. Bye-bye, Jay. It was fun.
Have fun.
Sorry, boys. I know you don't want to commit to liking us over Howard, so it's okay.
I've never been on Boy, he's like Sybil. He just almost killed the fucking everybody in here, and he goes, "Don't worry, guys." It's like fucking.
All I'm saying is I understand.
You got great fucking range,
I understand.
man.
I understand.
Wow, what are we going to do in 3 months?
What are we going to do?
Oh, my goodness. How about what we've been doing on this platform, satellite radio,
for over a year now?
For over a year now, entertaining people, having fun, and getting new listeners every day. More than Howie will certainly have when he gets on radio, on satellite radio.
Right, Patrice?
We
And there's your stories about...
I really do want to, don't even bother.
It just remains neutral.
No, but
just remain neutral.
When you told your Brazil stories on Stern, did you have as much fun there as you did here? When you told the same stories on that station as you did here?
But I told Opie when I first came, it's like, Opie, what am I supposed to call your house and tell those stories?
Yeah.
Like I'm in the business.
Dude, this is the difference between the two shows. We never told anyone not to go do other radio shows.
Can I say something?
We have never said that.
Balls to say this. I will. I'm telling you. This is in the amongst friends. It's like this. I went on those 2 times to talk about it. It was like, okay, it's like doing Letterman and doing another show or something. It's like, okay, I went on Stern, did that, but I'm like, look, you got it. He ended up calling me like on the air. It's like, hey, what's that fat comic that goes to Brazil? And I know here I'm Patrice O'Neal, the fat comic who goes to Brazil, but it's like it's like, I'll be like I have to be like a dude, like I have to have a place sort of, and I can't get to talk and have fun, you know what I'm saying? So it was Stern was fun. But this is like my home. So
you two are like little schoolgirls looking at him, listening to his rationalization bullshit. Okay, listen, if Stern called you tomorrow and said come in Friday, would you do it?
They've called me a couple of times. It's just I go, look, I do O&A.
Okay,
but with us, that
is
absolutely not a problem.
Look,
I know, but there's certain comics.
There's
certain comics that are loyal to you guys too. Well, I mean, you don't go.
And they get a lot of airtime.
You're right. I mean, there's certain comics.
When I did it, there was no.
And here's the deal,
radio show.
Exactly.
What about Goomba Johnny? You couldn't do him?
I did Goomba Johnny.
Oh, okay.
Like Patrice said, there was no radio to.
I would have loved to come on here and talk about it for an hour and a half. 2 hours talking about Brazil. I needed to get it out. It changed my life.
There's a huge difference between the two shows, too. Howard has to be the funniest guy in the room at all times. Yeah. We understand that if Voss kills, Patrice kills, we're going to get credit in the end anyway. Who cares?
Yeah, when we did those...
But as soon as you're a little funnier than Howard, then he slaps you back down, and he has to be the funny guy. He's one of the most insecure guys in radio.
Listen, Patrice and I...
You got to know when to sit back and let someone perform. That's very
this.
important, so shut up and let me perform.
Every comic knew this about you guys. When we did those roasts on the show, when I was roasted and then we roasted Norton, right? It was 2 hours of just complete fuck. And you guys just sat back and the mindset is, hey, fuck. You're killing. Yeah. We don't have to do 2 hours. Exactly. We're doing 20 a week. And why do we have to?
And that's because we're secure with the type of show we do.
I mean, not trying to be a bitch. It's just like I'm the honest to God. You know what I mean? It could happen, but it's like I'd rather come here and like do.
You just don't want the Howie Bridge to look like the Queensboro Bridge looked yesterday, just burning and in flames and impassable.
Like, God damn it!
What time are you doing the radio chick today?
Oh, Jesus.
The radio chick still doing radio?
I don't know. He's going over there. He said to plug.
Did you do you did the radio chick?
I tell you,
the radio chick.
I never did the radio chick, but I don't know.
She is a disaster.
I did Stern when you guys were off, and I just recently did Brewer.
You know that Brewer called me like 2-3 days ago. Like whining and crying into the phone, like you don't call me anymore. And I'm like, it's tough to call him, you know?
Why?
We kind of showed him how to do radio, and then we were trying to get him here.
As you mean, as his own show here, or
yeah, we were trying to get him here.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's
and then
the
thing. I'm not gonna lie to you. He disappointed me personally. Disappointed me big time because he's another guy that I talk to a lot in my time off. And it's like, what are you doing?
But maybe they offered him
more
money.
And then his excuse is he didn't want to live under our shadow and stuff. It's like, we would have helped you. Because obviously he's a great comic, but he doesn't know how to do this radio thing.
Can you get me a radio show? Hook me up with, like, that cowhead guy or something? Like
apparently you could just go over there to Sirius, and they'll sign you up for a multi-million-dollar deal. It seems to be what they do.
Where's their address? Where are they at?
They're right downtown a little bit. Anyway, I love you.
No.
Yeah, it's a touchy subject, that whole thing, man. That loyalty thing. You're like, Jesus, you know. Everybody's in show business. You're trying to, you know. You want to.
Well, they have absolutely blocked people from being on this show, and we don't care. We tell people, you know, you want to sell seats at gigs or, you know, go over there and do that.
I don't know. But Patrice is saying there was no other radio. You know, when you guys were off the air was probably the highest point of my career. Which, well, you know, it's like any career, goes up and down, you know that. But at that point was probably the highest point, and I could have probably done Stern. But, you know, as being a loyal O&A comic,
listen to this. I could have probably
You're right. I made a call.
Stern.
All right,
he was not asked to do.
Oh yeah, right.
No.
Okay. He knows, but I was.
Jesus.
I was. You fucking idiot.
You wasn't.
I wasn't.
And you wouldn't have said no.
Yes, of course I would.
He's lying.
I said no to Man Cow. I said no to I said no to Stern.
What are you doing, dude?
I dropped the coffee again.
Yeah, all over the console. So we're going to be off the air in seconds here now. As soon as that starts dripping in between the cracks.
Oh, no. Do you spill your coffee every fucking time you come here? That is again. Don't let it get under the console. That's impossible to clean.
Sorry about that.
I like the way Voss is like quietly trying to be a rebellious. He spilled the coffee on purpose to just say,
to diffuse.
So he can tell everybody I went down there. He can tell Bonnie I caused a ruckus. I threw coffee.
Yeah,
in his face.
I was throwing coffee at him.
They didn't do nothing.
I showed him, sweetie.
I bit Master Pole in his balls, and he I
backed right down.
Yeah. Hey, this is quiet. Like this is really some little protest he's doing.